There was a woman named Deborah. She was kind, quiet, and peaceful, but she lived with a heavy pain, the kind no one could see, but everyone talked about. From the day she was born, people said one thing about her: this woman will never give birth. Her womb is closed forever. She was not made to carry a child. Deborah didn't understand at first. As a little girl, she would ask her mother, "Why can't I be like other girls?" Her mother would hold her and say, "God knows why." As she grew up, she tried to be strong. She told herself she didn't care. She smiled even when people looked at her with pity. But deep inside her heart, she wanted to be called mother, more than anything in the world. Then came Ebenezer, her husband, a good man, a man who loved her truly. He held her hand and said, "I did not marry you because of children. I married you because I love you." But people around them were not kind. At weddings, they pointed at her. At baby naming ceremonies, they whispered. At church, they gave her sad looks. "She's the barren one," they said, "the woman with an empty womb." Deborah cried alone at night. One day, something broke inside her. She stopped going to church. She stopped praying. She stopped smiling. She shouted at God in pain, "Why did you make me like this? What did I do to deserve this?" Then one strange day, an old woman came to her door. Nobody knew who she was. She looked like she had seen many years and many spirits. One of her eyes was white, the other sharp and bright. She didn't say hello. She only asked, "Do you want a child?" Deborah looked at her, confused, then slowly nodded. "Then come with me." And without asking questions, Deborah followed. They went into a deep forest. It was quiet, but not peaceful. The trees felt alive. The wind sounded like it was speaking in another language. Finally, they reached a river, but it didn't flow. It boiled. It was black like oil, with smoke rising from it. The woman said, "Drink." Deborah asked, "What is this?" The woman replied, "It's not from God, but it works." And Deborah, in her pain and desperation, drank. That night her body burned with heat. She couldn't sleep. She screamed in pain. But 3 months later, her womb started to grow. She was pregnant. The village shouted for joy. "A miracle," they said, "finally." But something was wrong. 9 months later, Deborah gave birth. The baby was not normal. He came out with teeth, his eyes shining like a cat's. In the night, on his chest was a strange red mark, shaped like a snake's tongue. At only 5 months old, the baby started speaking. He didn't cry like other babies. He spoke in strange words that no one could understand. Tongues, voices that made people afraid. Pastors came, prophets came. Some said he was a gift. Others said he was a curse. "Half human, half something else," one man whispered. Deborah tried to love him, but she was afraid. At night, the baby would look into the dark corner of the room and smile. He would laugh when people died. When he cried, thunder shook the sky. One day, Ebenezer said, "Let me take him to the mountain to pray." He took the child and left. But Ebenezer never came back. They found his body 3 days later, lying still, eyes wide open, face full of fear. Deborah cried until she couldn't breathe. She looked at her child and shouted, "Who are you?" And the baby looked at her with calm eyes and said, "I am the answer to the prayer you should never have prayed." Deborah fell to the ground. Her heart broke in pieces. She realized what she had done. She had gone to places God never sent her. She forced open a door that God had locked, not to punish her, but to protect her. She went back to church. She cried at the altar. She didn't care who watched. She fasted. She begged God, "Forgive me. I should have waited on you." And after 3 days of praying and crying, God answered. Not in a loud voice, not in thunder, but in a quiet whisper in her heart. "What I kept from you was mercy. What I gave you now is healing. Trust me again." She returned home. Her child was different. The fire in his eyes was gone. The mark on his chest faded. He looked at her and smiled like a real child. For the first time he said, "Mama." Years passed. That same boy, once feared and strange, became a preacher. Yes, a man of God. He said, "I was born from pain, but God changed my name and gave me purpose. I'm not what I used to be. I am who God says I am." Deborah is now an old woman, but every time she watches him preach, she cries again. Not from sadness, but from thankfulness, because mercy found her. Dear viewer, maybe you are like Deborah. Maybe the world told you that you can't do it, that you're too late, that your womb is closed, that your dreams are finished. But listen to me. Don't rush God. Don't run ahead of Him. When He says wait, He's not punishing you. He's protecting you. When He says not now, it's not hate, it's love. Even if people laugh at you, even if they mock you, wait on God. If you go ahead without Him, you may get what you want, but lose what you need. Your pain is not the end. Your waiting is not a waste. Let God write your story. His pen is full of mercy. If this story touched your heart, if you felt the tears, if something inside you woke up again, please share this story. Let someone else receive hope. And if you want more stories that open your eyes, touch your heart, and lift your soul, then subscribe to our channel, not just to support us, but to support the message. We don't tell ordinary stories, we tell God's stories. Remember, God is never too late, He is never too silent, and He never forgets His promises. Wait on Him, trust again, and never give up.
Please like, share and subscribe.